All right, and we're live. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Multiverse episode 67 of the Multiverse show. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. And first off, before we get started, I want to talk about my Traitors podcast team who abandoned me last minute and did not show up. The only loyal person out of the whole squad who showed up tonight, Nick. You. I am ashamed. Mike, James, Fame, none of you showed. Pull out the last minute. So disgusting.
Oh, Mike's not here because he doesn't want to catch those hands in Destiny 2 with all that smack he's been talking all week.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Bird.
Yeah. Man, so we got a good show lined up for you guys today. In the face of adversity, the Multiverse show will rise to the occasion. So, guys, let's do some introductions here. First off, my co-host, the only loyal person left.
Ooh.
The chief of achievements, the one true king of the north with his baby face.
Hey, it's growing back. Give it time. All right, what's going on, guys? Glad to be back on the podcast again, baby face and all. And it's interesting to have the backup squad for the Multiverse show.
Yep. Yeah, these are the interns. We don't pay these people.
What?
Wait.
But my agent said...
No, hold up. We were getting paid before? What?
Don't tell them that. We're working towards something.
Damn.
All right, guys. We have our guest for the evening. Let's start with a longtime supporter and fan of the show. We got our man, Mr. Samuel Tolbert, over from RGM.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? Hope everybody's been having a good time gaming, watching movies, and the like. I'm the Associate Editor-in-Chief of Real Game Media, and you can come check us out for opinions, gaming news, and reviews. Great to be here as always. Let's get cracking.
All right. And we also have a returning guest to the show, the man of the hour, the legend, the man, the myth. Wow.
Who are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't want to...
I don't know where yet. Just disappeared. Wow, the whole build up and everything. Wow. All right, fine. Well, we'll find out where he is. But we have our first time guest on the show. I've had him on one of my other shows on my other channel before. But one of the most level-headed people out there on YouTube. The man who hates all consoles equally. Gago.
Oh, no.
He ducked out of the line of fire there.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Hey.
All right, Robert, we did your intro. You weren't even here. What happened?
Hey, man, I didn't know, okay? I thought it was the backup bra, so... Yeah. We got the backups tonight, so here we go, guys.
I got off.
That made me feel real...
The Hangouts kicked me out. Hold on, no. Okay. I'm back. I don't know what happened. I just got kicked out from the call.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably how it is.
All right, so now you guys are back. Do your intros up, bro. Tell the fine people where they can find you at. Where'd you go?
Okay, I am. Oh, okay. Oh my god, this totally ruined it. Oh god.
Bro.
Look,
yeah, the PlayStation Bra.
just search on Twitter, PlayStation Bra. I'm on there all the time, talking games, Come find me. Go ahead, Gabe. You need to speak, man.
Okay.
All right, Gabe.
Okay. Move it. Okay. Once again, hey guys, I'm Gabe. I'm from the Super Deformed Gamescast. I'm actually been away from the podcast for a while. I intend to go back to it this week. You can find me at Gabriel1 Ashley on Twitter, and you can find me on YouTube. Hopefully, starting this week again at the Super Deformed Gamescast. Search it up on YouTube.
All right. So yeah, we got a couple cool topics I want to talk about before. First, as we normally do, for those watching the show, what have you guys been up to? What have you guys been playing lately? Nick, what you been playing lately? What's been occupying your time?
Trying to hit top 500 in Smite right now. I'm sitting at 602, I think, right now. So hopefully big top 500 by the weekend. And now my life's going to get consumed by Destiny 2 and Yakuza 0, which is going to take a while. So I'm looking forward to those.
All right. And what you been up to, Sam? What you been playing lately?
I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2, some Destiny 2, and a little bit of Destiny 2 on the side to go with it. I'm working on getting my light level up for the Nightfall and the raid. I've hit the soft cap. It's been a ton of fun. Really enjoying it. I've also been brushing up on my Warhammer skills to prep for the sequel, which launches in 10 days.
Nice. All right. And let's see, Mr. Gabriel Ashley, what you been playing lately?
Well, let's see. I've been playing a bit of PUBG, then a little bit more PUBG, then some more PUBG, and a little bit of Yakuza 0 on the side, and a little bit of Observer as well. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's Observer like? Actually, I've been kind of sitting back on that one, waiting for that one.
What, Observer?
Yeah. What's it up?
What's it like? You mean? Kind of like this little walking simulator / cyberpunk / horror game where you do some investigations. There's some wacky dreams sequences that happen that's probably really creepy on VR, but on a regular screen not so much. But the story seems pretty interesting. I mean, it's kind of cryptic, it's kind of confusing at times, but I'm quite enjoying it.
All right,
it's worth checking out.
What's up? All right, what's you up to, bro? What you been playing?
Let's see. Knack 2, having a little bit of fun with that. The co-op mode, my wife, been enjoying that, and Everybody's Golf. That's been pretty fun online. Getting some holes in ones and all that, and then we got a Switch yesterday. So last night was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe action, baby.
Nice. I gotta add you with your Switch social security number.
I know, right? It's like, oh no, it just can't be your gamer tag or whatever. It has to be a 12-digit code or something.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
Thanks to Nintendo making it so easy.
Yeah. All right, guys. We got a couple topics we got to get through today. First off, first things first. Let's see. Let's start talking about one of these little interesting news that came out today, actually in order. So first of all, we had the reveal of the Tomb Raider. Not trailers coming tomorrow, but they revealed the poster for the official Tomb Raider movie, which is going to be a reboot focused more on the 2013 game for Tomb Raider. First off, before we even get started, anybody even care about this movie?
Well, I did until I saw the poster.
Yeah, it's pretty generic.
There's actually, if you look on Twitter, there's actually small clips they released with it too.
Yeah.
And it looks like a horrible, horrible B movie so far.
Yeah.
All right. Gabe, were you interested at all?
Sorry, didn't get that.
Were you interested in the Tomb Raider movie at all?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't imagine a lot of people were. So, yeah,
I mean, it's a video game adaptation, so we all know video game adaptations are just they never done one right. So why would a Tomb Raider reboot or whatever that is we do? Because they already have 2 Tomb Raider movies. They sucked. So I don't know. I don't have much faith in this one.
There's tons of great video game movies like Doom, that Final Fantasy movie that came out years back.
The Spirits Within.
Was great. I'm sorry, I'll defend Warcraft.
Yeah, Warcraft was actually good. I actually enjoyed that. It was generic, but it was actually not a half bad movie.
Really?
It's a well-made generic fantasy film.
Yeah, 100% with that.
I don't know. I have not seen it. I don't know if I ever want to.
Yeah, same here, Anchor.
And actually, you know what? I will say the first Resident Evil movie, I didn't cringe through the whole thing.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. That's some cool moments.
Yep.
All right, yeah. So, so they revealed this poster. First off, aesthetically, this poster looks horrible. It's just, it's this over the head, like over the shoulder look kind of deal. It's like, oh god, the color scheme looks bad, and actually people are looking at her neck, and it looks so awkwardly positioned. It looks like they stretched out her neck to make this.
This is the worst looking movie poster since that Spider-Man Homecoming one they did with the like 28 different characters of the movie in it. I'm not sure if you remember that one.
Iron Man.
Yeah, the one that looked like it was photoshopped by a 12-year-old.
Mm.
Yeah, it is not a looker, and I've seen people kind of float around saying things like, "Oh, this movie looks like it belongs on the Sci-Fi Channel." This says to be a TV movie. Like it just, oh god. Or I think the worst one I saw is that somebody said it looked like it was a porn parody. Like, ooh, burn.
I forgot all about it, man, until that poster came up today. I was like, oh yeah, they're making a Tomb Raider movie.
Hey,
it's just like making a Tomb Raider movie.
Oh, damn.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
I think I heard talk of it like maybe 3-4 years ago, like once, but that was it. Like not like they were serious about it. Like I had no idea.
It's the same thing though. This is gonna get glassed over. It's like, did anyone go and see the Assassin's Creed movie?
No.
Nope.
I rented it on Blu-ray. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts. You watched it.
What?
It's on Netflix. It's on my Netflix, and I still won't watch it.
How was it?
It's kind of a weird mix. Like, there's a handful of things that actually were done really, really well. The parkour and the choreography for the fights is superb. And Michael Fassbender does his absolute best with, a very, very, very limited script.
Hey.
It's just literally everything else that kind of falls apart.
He's a great actor, so
he will do his best with whatever he's given, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, this is definitely not a good first impression. Like, definitely not. Normally, you try to leave your best foot forward, and lately, when you start showing posters before the trailer, for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem to go over as well. You got to show. If you show the trailer first, a mediocre poster can be forgotten if the trailer's decent. So it's just.
It just blows my mind that with how good we've had so many really, really good video games, like how hard is it to actually adapt a good video game into a movie?
Especially
like how.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just like, especially in this case, because the formula was spelled out for them. It's based off of the 2013 game, which I thought was fantastic. I thought Camille Luddington did a great job. Why not just reuse her? Don't fix what is broken. She's actually a British gal, It's like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's the same thing like with the Uncharted movie that's coming with Tom Holland. That has potential. It's just whether or not they just stick to it, or if they just try to take creative liberties, they're just gonna.
Well, especially Sony taking creative liberties with their own franchise.
Yeah, I'm worried about that one. Oh. No, why?
Like, I could understand taking creative liberties like with Spider-Man or something you don't own really. Mm-hmm. Like you're like, okay, you didn't get to make the material here, you have to adapt it. I understand that. But when you own your own franchise.
Let's be real. In regards to the Uncharted movie, it should be written by Naughty Dog, and Sony's whole movie organization should not be able to touch it. Not at all. That should not be allowed. Everything they touch is just awful.
I don't know. All right, I think they'll do a one good movie and then bomb everything else the rest of the year.
What are you talking about? The Emoji movie was the best movie this year. I don't know what you're talking about. I
heard Baby Driver was really good.
Yeah, I heard that too.
But everything else was just bad. the only thing that I think gets a pass is maybe Spider-Man: Homecoming.
And Marvel had their hit.
I thought it was just kind of mediocre. It was like, it's okay, not the best.
It wasn't mediocre. It was good, but I attribute that to Marvel's creative abilities, not Sony's.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah, so anyway, moving right along. It was more just like a little footnote, really, with the whole Tomb Raider thing. There's not really much we could say really until tomorrow when we actually get to see the trailer, but we'll see when it comes down to that. So, main topic for the evening. We need to talk about it. The event that caused Jim Ryan to roll over in his proverbial grave. The event that made everyone scream in collective fear. Think of the children.
Oh boy.
Fortnite apparently accidentally turned on crossplay between the PlayStation 4 and Xbox versions of Fortnite.
Sorry.
So, oops.
Oopsie.
Oops accidentally did what was supposedly impossible. Oops.
I'd also like to point out the best conspiracy theory I've seen behind that is that Cliff Bleszinski broke into Epic Games and turned it on to troll PlayStation. This is for not buying Lawbreakers.
And you know what this also means, though? This means that this is something that we've been told for so long. Sony doesn't want Xbox Live touching it. They don't want people having to log into Xbox Live. They don't want any of that stuff. This proves it's not required. You don't have to. It's now an option, and it's more of a thing where I think Epic is trying to make a point. You don't accidentally enable crossplay like this. I feel like it was more of a they did this, and it was better to ask forgiveness than permission.
Right.
Because they knew the answer. like what are they going to do? Pull the game?
Epic, we're taking down Fortnite tonight. Sorry, guys. Oh, man. No.
See, I'm interested to see if more developers start making more accents like this, because crossplay is very pro-developer, but not necessarily pro-Microsoft or Sony. Microsoft and Sony aren't going to make bundles of money off of crossplay per se, but developers have a lot more opportunities, especially development studios that say have a smaller fan base. Like Titanfall 2, it takes me almost 20 minutes to find a game online on Xbox One. If there was crossplay available, the small player amounts of Titanfall 2 players on PlayStation could then game with the small amount of Xbox players that are playing it, and then you have a larger community playing that game. I don't see an issue with it. I understand the logistics business-wise of why it's not a thing, but I think Epic Games is they're definitely trying to make a point with it, because it's not like you can accidentally walk into a server room and accidentally hit spacebar and turn on crossplay. Like, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah. So, at this point, it's like, how many devs are asking for crossplay at this point? That not just Microsoft, obviously, because they're backing it 100%, but you've got Epic Games with Fortnite. You've got Ark Survival Evolved. The team
Rocket
there
League.
has said they would be willing to. Rocket League. CD Projekt Red with the Gwent card game. They said they would be open to that in any future titles. PUBG. Then we've got, there was someone else that was high profile. Oh, Respawn, saying that they would have loved, not for PC, obviously, because you got a keyboard and mouse shooter advantage there, but they would have loved to see the consoles have crossplay, but that someone, Sony, was keeping it from happening. So, it's not looking good, honestly. It's beginning to get to be a rather exhaustive list.
Yeah. Didn't Boss Key say they were interested in doing it? I forgot.
Yes, Boss Key. Well,
yes,
I was going to say Boss Key was interested in it because it was the same thing with Titanfall 2 situation, right? When you have a lower player base, it's harder to find games and everything else. So if you combine it with crossplay, then you have more people to pool together, and you fill your servers a lot more, and people have an easier time finding a game, because no one wants to play an online game where you spend 90% of your night searching for a game.
Just sitting there. It sure is fun.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, man, where it's like crossplay is something we've been wanting for decades. Well, maybe decade and a half.
Yeah, let's say that. Wait a minute. How old are you, Anchor?
It is just we'll admit it here. Microsoft's only interested because they're in second place.
Of course.
Like everyone knows that's the real reason behind it. Because when you're in second place, you're more open to being a little more flexible. You're working around it. But when you're top dog, you don't care. Microsoft didn't care about crossplay back then. Back in the 360 era, they did not care. But that was it. But now, tides have turned. Sony's not interested. Microsoft is. That's how it is. And,
I mean,
there's really no way to get around it, though.
Do you think it might come even more of an impact, like next gen, maybe with the PS5 or Xbox 2, or
I'm calling it Capricorn.
Whatever you're calling it. Do you think next gen might be they open the gates to it? Maybe better networks. I don't know. Is it too late in this generation to do it, or?
I think depending, because with how big of a flux social media seems to have on these companies these days, because we've seen Sony and Microsoft bend to what social media gamers want.
Bend to the knee.
Basically, like mid-gen refreshes are literally because social media as a whole and the gaming community as a whole was like, why would we buy these next-gen consoles to play 900p 30 FPS games? And they were like, and we got these mid-gen refreshes. So if social media creates enough of an uproar, Sony will cave, I think, to a degree. But I think there needs to be, I don't know what needs to happen to make it work, you know what I mean? Like, if you play in a lobby together, like, how's that going to work? Like, if I'm at an Xbox Live party with my friends, it pairs me up with a Sony guy. Like, when I play Rainbow Six Siege, if I join a random lobby, I'll invite all the people in the lobby to an Xbox party. So if there's cross-play in Rainbow Six Siege, I invite everyone to a party, but two of the guys on the team are on PlayStation. How do I communicate with them? That becomes an issue.
Like a normal person.
Wait, what?
Called game chat.
Now,
and I'm actually insulted you brought that up. One of the very few games that actually still uses game chat. I'm insulted, sir. The person that's ruining Rainbow Six. How dare you start parties, sir? Anyway. Well, hear what your thoughts are about this real quick, man. Real quick. I need to know. What are your thoughts in regards to in this sort of situation?
So crossplay thing. Well, we all know that PSN, Xbox Live, they're basically glorified authentication services. Basically, when you play an online game, you don't play on can you give me just a second?
Sure. Okay.
Hey, I think it'll happen eventually, but I just don't know about this gen. Like Nicholas was saying about how's it going to work with the different networks and the servers.
I'd agree with that. It's a serious case of cross that bridge when you come to it. Obviously, the major thing is just getting games to be cross-play. I think when you see more and more, with every new developer that jumps on this and says, yeah, we're absolutely on board, Microsoft is in a position where, of course, being in second place right now, they're on board with it. And then if you see a lot of Nintendo Switch titles having crossplay, you've got a PC, Switch, Xbox ecosystem going on, and then everybody on PlayStation is playing over by themselves. I think that places a lot more pressure on Sony's shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, I'm back, guys. I'm sorry about the little thing that was happening here. Okay, and like I was saying, so the fact that you don't actually play on these services from directly on these servers for most third-party games, for any third-party game. When you play on a EA game, you're playing on EA service. If you're playing on a Ubisoft game, you're playing on Ubisoft service. So in the end, crossplay is just a matter of business decisions. So it is only up to either from Sony. Sony is the one who needs to just cave in, let everyone play together, maybe I believe that the big problem is probably like you guys say how I think it was Nick who was saying how do people who are playing on Xbox and PS4 talk to each other? And then there are games that has team chat, right, in game, but that's not. Then in this case, there are games that has no team chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe there are some games that has no team chat.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure Lawbreakers doesn't have game chat, does it?
I think it's supposed to.
In game, I mean.
Yeah, in game chat.
But to be honest, though, I haven't played.
To be fair, no one has been playing Lawbreakers. So. Oh man,
I feel bad because I want to. It's always at really inopportune times too when I want to play Lawbreakers. It's always something like, "Oh, I'm at work and I'm on my lunch break. Like I could go for some Lawbreakers right now."
At lunch, man.
Apparently, everyone else who plays this game is in that same situation. Because
Well, see, that's why they need to release it on the Nintendo Switch. So on your lunch break, you could play it.
Oh,
damn!
It's all the problem.
Makes sense. Yeah.
We got $1 billion ideas right here.
Cliffy B, you listening? You there, bro?
Dude, I'm not even kidding.
Oh, there's something here.
I feel bad for Cliffy B. I honestly do.
Did you see his interview with GameSpot?
I did not see it. I read some highlights.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh man, I was a dick online, and blah blah blah, and I did this and did that." And I'm like, "Wow,
this out.
Yeah, this can't be the same guy that's been on Twitter the past 4 months."
See, it's funny to me when he was saying there, he's like, "Yeah, I've been a dick on social media the past few months." I'm like, man. I remember what he was posting on social media back in like the Gears of War days, and I remember when there was rumors about Sony wanting to like try to bring like Gears of War to like PlayStation, and literally I remember his post to that was "Suck it, Sony, you can't touch my game."
He's always been brash.
I was gonna say,
but the thing is, back then he was brash with Epic and Microsoft backing his checks.
Yeah, but that's
the unfortunate reality.
Yeah, like that's the thing is when you do your own independent development and you're a smaller studio, you kind of got to cater to the knuckleheads a little bit more. Like, I feel awful because I don't disagree with anything he said on social media because a lot of the people he called out on social media are well-deserved in what they got. But unfortunately, the way you can manipulate screenshots and how people talk and everything else, he probably did throw himself a little bit too out to the wind with it. But
yeah, like I said, I feel bad for the guy because, in all honesty, he did the best he could. Like. He'd been working this gear, and so he pushes the game back. So, okay, we'll stay over a year away from Overwatch. We got that barrier. We should be good. Nope. All right, I don't have enough to put it all only on every platform. I could do two platforms. PC is a no-brainer, and I could put an Xbox or PlayStation. I'll put it on PlayStation. They got more gamers on there. Like he made all the right choices. It's just like everything wrong.
I thought he had Nexon back in the
same day.
Didn't Overwatch release their summer event the same day Lawbreakers launched, though?
They did. And the same week as Hellblade, which, kind of got massive critical reception and sold incredibly well.
I remember just saying there, it was like, oh, Lawbreakers is coming out next week. And then Overwatch, Blizzard's like, new Overwatch summer event. I'm like, well, rip.
They tried, huh?
Man, it was so bad. I actually was looking forward to Lawbreakers. When they announced that summer event, I literally was sitting there with like my Xbox and PlayStation controller in hand. And I'm like, I just got back from work, and I was like, do I do Lawbreakers, a brand new game, or do I go back to Overwatch, a game I've been playing for over a year? It was rough.
Yeah,
that was a rough choice there.
It was.
But all right. So also a little entertainment news blip it here. We have our first little teaser for the Punisher Netflix series.
Ooh.
I gave everybody a link here. It's like quick 30 seconds. Recap for those who don't know. There's really not much to be seen. All it really is just there's some military guys running into a forest and Punisher jumping out of logs and leaves and stuff, just taking them out one by one. Like in this first person military perspective. And it's like, yes, it feels great. But at the same time, it's not like a very loud and brash Punisher, guns a-blazing kind of approach. It's more like guerrilla warfare style, very much Rambo 1, First Blood kind of stuff. Anyway, what do you guys think of it? I sent you guys a link to everything in there.
Did you like Defenders?
I'm actually still not finished. I got the last episode to watch. Like it? Good?
I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't as good as I thought it'd be, so I'm looking forward to Punisher.
Yeah. I think that's really one of the issues that goes on with Netflix personally. I think they struggle with big groups on one-on-one, deep introspective building of a character. I think they do better in that regard. If you watch all the rest of their shows, House of Cards, Stranger Things to an extent, where it's just like these four boys really, and they give them all enough time, they do a better job with a smaller scale. But that is kind of like, it's good. Their cable access TV good.
I'm just looking forward to another Marvel show where someone isn't constantly reminding us every 3 minutes that he's the immortal Iron Fist protector.
I saw that meme, man. I laughed for 5 minutes.
Honestly, after 2 episodes of The Defenders, I was like, no, I can't do this. If I hear his name one more time, I'm going to punch somebody.
But no, in all seriousness, I'm a huge Punisher comic fan. He often doesn't get a lot of love. I think he was absolutely superb in Daredevil Season 2, so heck yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Gabe?
Yeah, really excited about this new show. I actually haven't watched... Actually, the only Marvel Netflix show I've watched was Daredevil, actually. I tried watching Jessica Jones, didn't enjoy it. I tried watching Iron Fist. I watched the first episode, didn't feel like watching the rest. And because of that, I still haven't started The Defenders, because I feel like I need to watch both of these shows so I can fully appreciate The Defenders, I believe. Oh, and Luke Cage. I watched Luke Cage. I actually enjoyed Luke Cage.
Honestly, though, if I had to throw it out there, in terms of like essential stuff you have to watch, Daredevil Season 1 and 2 I feel like are necessary. You gotta watch both of those. D'Onofrio makes the whole series to me, but that's a personal taste. Luke Cage I view as essential, just namely so you can kind of get a gist of where the city is at personally, and the rise of big and brash superpowers. Like in your face, everybody knows the man's got superpowers kind of stuff. Yeah. Beyond that, I really view Jessica Jones as optional, personally. Like they really aren't missing anything by not watching it. Like all you're really missing in terms is just watching David Tennant be a good villain.
Yeah. Yeah. People keep telling me that is amazing as the.
Yeah.
But there's like
villain, right?
Out 5 out of the 10 episodes. There's a lot of dead time, honestly. It really is optional. Like there's not much there. Just watch a couple clips on YouTube. You're good to go. Iron Fist. I feel like if you watched a few select episodes, you'd be good.
Yeah.
Just a couple. Like there's one about, I think it's like about mid-season or something like that, where he goes through the trials. And I was like, that was the coolest thing ever. Like they were name dropping people left and right, and I'm like, oh. I was losing it. But yeah, other than that, it's really half of the season is optional. honestly.
Yeah.
But it's more if you like different type of kung fu kind of stuff. But
Just half Iron Fist was boring. You're sitting there. Okay, where's the kung fu at?
yeah,
I mean, I have no problem with building characters.
Iron Fist is my personal favorite out of the Defenders, not the show, but the character.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say,
I like the character the most. I always enjoyed Danny Rand. He has a really good Immortal Iron Fist run back a couple of years ago. I'll see if I can find the link to it, but it really is quite good.
Was it Matt Fraction, Ed Brubaker? Or?
I think so.
Was that okay? Yeah, that was a good run.
Yeah, it's when they meet Orson, his grandfather.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, that whole run was great. Like it gave you a lot of context when they start introducing the Bride of Nine Spiders, Dog Brother. I was mad there was no Fat Cobra. But I need Fat Cobra at some point. But it's things like this that just they name dropped enough to me to make me feel happy.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But other than that, yeah. So other topic actually for the evening. We actually were going to talk about this, but I want to kind of get into it. Sam, what is up with this Resident Evil 7?
Okay, so before I dive into any of this, I just want to say that, like, for me to delve into this topic, it's sort of going to be spoiler mode by default. So if anyone here hasn't played Resident Evil 7 or is listening and is still interested in, going in spoiler-free into the campaign or whatever, then you might not want to listen to this next bit. That's just a fair bit of warning there. But there are two big DLCs coming out that are going to close out Resident Evil 7. It's going to be two big expansions. One of them is a paid DLC, part of the Season Pass, but the other is actually free and is going to be quite beefy because it's chronologically the last piece of story happening for the game. And so if you're a longtime fan, you'll be excited to know that it has you placed into the boots of Chris Redfield.
Woo.
It's called Not a Hero. And you are going to be chasing down one of the villains who survived the main game. Name of Lucas Baker. And so some more information leaked from that evidently Lucas is going to be behind setting traps for Chris and the Umbrella team that's assisting him. And you're going to have to solve these death traps and sadistic puzzles and whatnot in order to get cryptic information, not only about Lucas, but about more backstory for the main game, for the Baker family as a whole. And this is going to tie directly into Resident Evil 8, which Capcom is strongly considering sticking with the first-person horror focus.
Good.
So it's very, very exciting for me because I absolutely loved Resident Evil 7.
Oh yeah,
but obviously I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on it.
Oh, I'm excited. I was kind of sad when they delayed the Not a Hero DLC till the end of the year. Like, hey, you get free content. Like, all right. And we're delaying it because the quality's not quite up to what we need. I'm like, okay, a couple months.
If it's any comfort at all, my understanding is it was heavily delayed because they're adding a lot to it.
Oh, okay.
It was just going to be a DLC. Now it's more like, no, this is something that other companies might charge a $20, $30 expansion.
It's
They're
like, I can't.
Yeah, because I saw it when I was reading info on this when you were talking about it earlier in the chat. The Capcom wasn't calling it DLC; they were calling it an expansion. So generally, as a general rule of thumb, you can put about 6 to 8 hours on an expansion. Is generally the ballpark I like to put on it. So
Don't push it past Capcom. Don't push it past Capcom though.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's free. It's like, hey, you take what you need.
But at the same time, I'll say it again. I absolutely loved Resident Evil 7. I thought the team did a phenomenal job moving forward mechanically, but returning to their roots as well. So I'm really, really excited for this, to say the least.
Because the Zoe's paid DLC, man. I mean, who did you pick Zoe at that decision point?
Did anyone pick Zoe?
I know, right? It was like
that felt thrown in simply because, like, oh well, we need to have 2 separate achievements / trophies, so people have to replay the game. It's like, no, it really felt awkwardly thrown in. That's the part I'm not really all excited on, but I'll still play the DLC. I would love to be proven wrong.
It's like you're on a mission to find your wife, so you're going to pick the other girl. Yeah. Thanks, Capcom. Who made that decision?
Yeah.
What it could have been like, hey, you can kill your wife or let her live. I mean, you know what happens with her. You know what's going on with her. I mean, that would have been a better decision than leave your wife at the farm and then take this random girl you just met. It's like, come on, guys, that was kind of lame.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, like I said, the game is still great. I'm excited for the DLC, the free and the paid.
Mm-hmm. All right. So anyway, I'm interested in it. I'll pick it up when it goes on holiday sale, like I said I was going to do in February. So I will wait until it goes to $25.
Are you scared? I think you're scared.
No.
See, I'm mad. I missed.
I'm not throwing in $40. I learned my lesson. I found Final Fantasy 15, which I still haven't played, and I picked it up when I was over 35, and then it went down to 20 a week later. I was like,
oh.
You should have jumped on the Best Buy deal. There was a Best Buy deal a couple of weeks ago. They had Resident Evil 7 for $17.99, I think.
What? Jeez.
It was a one-day sale or whatever. I was like, damn, if I didn't already have it.
Yeah, well.
Oh, it's totally worth it. I mean, when Jack's chasing you around, that's a great moment, man. You're sitting there rolling, bud. Oh, God.
Well, you Americans have the best sales. God, I wish I had sales like this here in Brazil.
All right. So, answering some closing of actually for some people in the chat were asking a question: what gamer died? So, the reason I put that in the title there, for those of you who are watching, the title of the video of the podcast show is Xbox gamer murdered PlayStation gamer on Fortnite. So just the other day, I found the story out from a website. What was it? Bro, you remember this? It was a PlayStation.
PSU. I thought it was PSU.
Yeah, PlayStation Universe.
I forget. It was something like that, World News Universe, something like that. They put out this article, and it was the way it was written was so.
Clickbait.
It was what was it? Xbox person murders or kills PlayStation gamer. Oh, what was I gotta find it now.
I think I can find it. Hold on.
It was so weird. It was just the way it was written made it sound like it was a crime being committed.
Okay, here you go. Breaking: PS4 player gets shot by Xbox One gamer in Fortnite game allegedly. Game should not have had PS4 crossplay. You were like,
it's like the way it's written makes it sound like it's a crime.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part. The whole article was written like that. Like this guy jumping into the game and killing him was like the biggest criminal act that's ever happened on the internet.
That's because probably Jim wrote it.
Yeah. Oh my! Breaking news. TMZ.
It was so bad. I actually responded. I responded to it, and they even responded to me directly.
Yeah, I'm reading your quotes right here. Yeah, the way this title was written makes it sound like a crime. Also, dope if true. And they said, "Ha ha, wasn't meant to." Smiley face. It's all good by us. Would love cross-play on multiplayer games.
Yeah, it was such a weird title.
I know my website's nothing special, but they've gotten pretty bad lately about having clickbait titles, really bad.
Well, see, now people are just going to assume that me or Anchor are going to kill PS Bra on this stream because the Xbox gamer murdered. Oh no, murdered PS gamer on Fortnite. Yeah, we got to sacrifice someone.
Why? Why can't
see, that's the real reason I want crossplay. The main reason I want crossplay is so that I can log onto my Xbox and join my friends' games and kill them. That's all I want crossplay for.
So we have to play together, just against each other. Yeah, that sounds like fun. But anyway, also before we wrap things up, I want to say, screw you, Fame, you traitor.
What did he do?
This man literally was asking around getting Destiny 2. He's like, should I get on Xbox or PlayStation? Xbox or PlayStation? And it was so funny because you're going back and forth. The people were wooing him over to either side. And so we were like, oh, you should join the Channel 5 group. We got it going on. We're ready. We'll help you. We'll escort you with a premium service all the way through the raid. Everything you need, we've got you, man. And he says, I'm going to buy the PlayStation version. It's like, no. You traitor.
You had a little tear coming down your face.
See, I had the option between the PlayStation and the Xbox version because I got equal amount of friends on both. But I was like, Iron Lords are on Xbox. I know these guys are going to be playing this game for the next, 3 years.
And they're going to carry my ass all the way through.
You're pulling the brand.
Yeah, so. Anyway, guys. This was just...
Do all y'all have Destiny 2?
Yeah.
Well,
yep.
Wow, I'm like the only person that doesn't.
I don't.
Loser.
No,
oh,
I don't.
Okay.
I don't have it. I hated the first one. So.
Okay, well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I hate the first one too, but I logged onto my Xbox on Saturday night, and it was like, you have 62 friends online. 53 people are playing Destiny 2. I'm like, wow, damn.
Whoa.
Crap.
Damn.
I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm playing this because no one else is going to want to play anything else. I'm not solo queuing for the rest of my games. So
it almost feels like it's kind of like that game that people are, oh man, Destiny 2 sucks, and they're secretly playing offline. Just the offline status you can put up on the PS4 and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll never play Destiny 2, and they're over there, all weekend.
No, my friend was like that. He was talking so much trash about Destiny 2. I was doing it too, but he sent me a pic. We were Snapchatting back and forth. I sat there. I was like, "What's that in the back corner of your room?" He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Is that the Destiny 2 Collector's Edition?" He's like, "No."
Destiny 1.
He's like, "No, that's not it." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I could totally see that Destiny 2 Collector's Edition."
That's Lawbreakers.
Oh. He's like, well, it wasn't that good anyway. So I logged onto his because he has his profile on mine. I'm like, you have 38 hours in Destiny 2. How is this not a good game to you?
It's all right.
Nah, it's just it's one of those things. I get it. But anyway, guys, we got to wrap up the show here. I want to first of all say thank you to everybody who showed up. You guys showed up last minute. When I asked you, you answered the call. You guys get our honorary.
Always a pleasure.
Yes. On the Multiverse show, anytime you guys want to be on, you just ask. You got the pass.
Thanks for having me back on, because I've been on 4 or 5 different shows and no one asked me to come back except for you. So I'm like, man, I must be doing something wrong. So when you messaged me last night, I was like, well, hell yeah, I'll come back on. Thank you. I'm confident you're building it back up. Bless you.
No, the worst one is when you go on a podcast and then the whole cast unfollows you after the podcast. You're like, well, okay.
Well then.
This was a tactical error.
All right. To give you guys a chance to shout out your stuff, pimp out. We'll start off with Mr. Samuel Tolbert from RGM. Where do you work? Where can people get in touch with you?
So again, I'm the assistant editor-in-chief for Real Game Media, or just RGM. You can follow us on Twitter. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter if you want some really interesting, read absolute hot takes on gaming. You can just follow me, simple username @Samuel Tolbert. And yeah, check us out. We've constantly got news, reviews, opinion pieces, and the like going up, and we try to keep things fanboy and drama free. Everyone's welcome.
All right. And Gabe, where can people find you at?
You can follow me on Twitter at Gabriel1, the number 1, Ashley. Gabriel, number 1, Ashley. I need to change that handle. It's kind of stupid.
Oh, don't say that about yourself.
And sometimes, occasionally, you can find me at the Super Deform Gamescast every Thursday night at 9 p.m. It's on YouTube.
All right. And PlayStation Bra?
Hey, like I said earlier, thanks again for having me back on. It made me feel good about myself. I truly appreciate it. But you can find me on Twitter at PlayStation Bra. I'm on every day. If I'm not on, then something's wrong with me. Call the police. I've gone missing, or You can check out my website, theplaystationbras.com, for all the PlayStation news you'll ever need most of the time. And like I said, I know it's a PlayStation website, but I do a pretty good job of keeping it fanboy clear. You know, I don't try to be like, you know, oh, PS4 is the best system ever, crap like that. All I got time is to really cover one gaming platform, and I chose PlayStation because I've been a fan forever. So for decades.
So you're saying Knack 2 is not transcendent nirvana of gaming?
No, Knack 2 is very playable. Jeff 2 would say.
We need that on a review quote. Very playable.
Yeah, very playable.
Very playable, yeah.
Like, I mean, it's way better than the first game, but no, it's not like, you know, Super Mario 64 or.
Yeah, I still like that tweet by you know, Metacritic rating. By the time Knack 4 comes out, it'll have 118 Metacritic. It'll be the best game ever.
But no, I try to keep things real. I don't want to be one of those bogus sites like that. But yeah, check it out if you don't mind, guys. Thank you. Thanks for having me on again. I appreciate it.
All right. And Nick?
Oh, well, everyone can find me on Twitter at Undead3XVI. I guarantee you at some point I will offend you through a regular week, or I will take a shot at your platform of choice. So there's your fair warning. And yeah, and you can follow me on YouTube and Twitch and everything, Undead3XVI, all the way across the board.
All right. And this has been Anchorman B2. You can find me on Anchorman B2 for pretty much everything under the sun. Xbox, PlayStation. Like Anchorman V2 doesn't fit on the Switch, so it's just Anchor V2. But I'm not giving you my social. You can find me on Switch. You know, you can find me the usual podcast on Thursday. Actually, not Thursday, Saturday now. So 10 o'clock. Be sure to check in on that. And please, everybody here, if you're watching this on YouTube, please share this thing. We're getting hit so hard right now by this false flagging stuff from YouTube, where they're saying nothing's advertiser friendly. We do very minimal to no cursing. We don't have really any controversial topics. We're doing everything we can to do everything to try and bring you guys the best content possible. Please help us out monetarily. We got a Patreon if you guys want to do that. Just anything helps. If you just share the video, give us some help. We really do appreciate it. That's all I can say. Multiverse Show, episode 67, the greatest show on Mondays.